the News Channel 5 network. This is Open Line.
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to News Channel 5 Plus. I'm Casey Mason. You are watching Open Line, Ask the Attorney. And tonight we have the pleasure of Kevin C. Kennedy with the Kennedy Law Firm joining us all the way from Clarksville, Tennessee. Good evening, Kevin.
Good evening, and it's good to be with you,
so
Casey.
Nice to have you here.
Yeah, it's fun. Every time I get to see you, upbeat, chippery.
It's the
dynamite.
coffee.
Yes,
I
it
blame
is.
the coffee.
The coffee will fire you. I never became a coffee drinker all these years, believe it or not.
Well, don't get started.
Don't get started. It won't drive you crazy.
That's right. Well, we have a lot to talk about tonight. As always, we like to kick off these shows inviting you, the viewers, to call in, ask Kevin your questions. He's happy to be here for you tonight. Any comments, stories, and of course questions you have, he's right here to answer them.
Absolutely. They were telling me with the camera, this is our last show for the year 2017. So if you've got questions 2017, you got to go now or never.
Well, I am honored to be sitting alongside you for this
I'm
one
glad
tonight.
I even put on the red coat just a little bit to kind of give it a little festive. Somebody said, well, you look like Santa Claus. I feel a little like Santa Claus.
You're young Santa Claus.
A young Santa Claus.
Well, Kevin, let's kind of introduce folks. I'm sure a lot of our folks tuning in tonight, they know who you are. But maybe if you're tuning in for the very first time, let's talk a little bit about your history.
Okay.
How you became Kevin C. Kennedy.
Well, the Kennedy Law Firm is in Clarksville, and I've been a lawyer now in excess of 33 years. When I was a little boy, I didn't know what I would do in life, but my father wanted me to get in public speaking. So I listened to him, and he encouraged me, trained me, and so I became a champion public speaker in the 4th grade. So when I got on to high school, I continued to win public speaking, and that's what sparked my attention. I said, well, I'm not smart enough to be a doctor, but I am a good talker. And so with that, I took off on a career of practicing law, and so it's been an exciting journey. The best part of it, we get to help people every day. This morning when I got to the office, I get there earlier than most. I get there like at 7, and there were 5 clients already waiting to see me, and the girls are winding the phone up, and so I go through there. But we get to help so many people. And one of the great things about a lawyer, knowledge is power. One of the great things about this show, knowledge is power. Sometimes your son or your daughter or your neighbor, they need a little help. You got to see the program tonight. You should take what you do, take some notes, and then go and share with them. We'll be telling some things tonight that probably will be beneficial to most every American family that's listening to the broadcast.
Well, let's go ahead and get started. Looks like we have got, I believe, Teresa here on line 3. Can you hear us, Teresa? Give that another try there. Line 1, Teresa? Good evening. What's your question for us tonight?
Alrighty. My sister slipped in Walmart up by the cash register.
Yes.
They told her that they had the tape and that it was an accident. Should she hire an attorney?
Well, you know, you always try to get an attorney. We've said it many times on here. Life is too complicated when you get into civil claims. And then, you know, one of the things that Tennessee law requires, there's got to be a duty of care. Well, Walmart is a business, and you're an invitee into their business. However, they still have to be found negligence. That means they had to have something there that you slipped on. If you just fell under your own power, then you have contributed to the negligence of that fall, and that very well could deny you of a claim. And you know, the insurance adjuster said, well, I'm going to take a tape recorded statement from you, and do you understand that we're going to do that? Well, when you do, you should throw on the brakes, because they're skilled, they're trained, they know exactly what the law requires, and they'll ask you the questions, and you make the statement, and then you say, well, hey, how much y'all going to pay me? We're going to give you nothing because that claim was worthless because you said this, this, and this. So I would immediately try to get a lawyer, and I don't want to give tape recorded statements. If they were on us tonight, I would be very hesitant because I would hire my own lawyer. It's the fear of the unknown that'll help settle the case. That's what everybody wants, settlement.
All right, great. And I believe we have Ronnie now on line 2. Thanks for calling in.
Yes, I was wanting to know if you got an overseer How do you get out of it if you got it?
Well, first off, that kind of sounds like a conservatorship. And people that have conservatorships, they've already been through the court system. 2 doctors have said these people need help. And so, but can you break that? Absolutely. You can go and hire a lawyer, and someone can assist you with that. You get 2 other doctors, and they say, hey, he's back to his normal self. That was a temporary problem, and now he doesn't need this oversight, and he'd like to conduct his own affairs. Of course, you could have a hearing, and the judge will agree or disagree. If the judge disagrees, of course, you have a right to appeal. And it gets back to that old saying, the squeaky door gets the oil. Everybody says, Kevin, you have so many old sayings. You know why? Because there's so much truth. There's so much wisdom. The ounce of prevention's worth a pound of cure. That's the law you're singing. So if I was confronted with it, my children were confronted, my neighbor, get a lawyer. And they can really make your life so much more happier and so much more pleasant. And the worst thing is be confronted with a situation with no lawyer. It becomes very unpleasant very quickly.
Very quickly. All right, let's go ahead to Jenny now on line 3. Hi, Jenny, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Wonderful. What's your question this evening? Thanks for calling in.
I have lived in a community for over 10 years, and the developer has turned it over to a HOA, and we've never had a HOA in this community before. Is there something that can be done
yes,
to prevent?
Yeah, one of the things that you ought to do is probably go seek a lawyer's advice. Someone can raise a little money and ask the lawyer to go look at the deed restrictions. Perhaps there were deed restrictions at the very beginning, so it'll take a little research, and that's why you should let a lawyer look at it. And there's certain procedures that are laid out in the Tennessee Code Annotated. Have they followed those policies and the law regarding that? If they have, well, we'll have to evaluate that. And remember, if there's issues that come up, then you can hire a lawyer and say, this is what we feel like there's a problem. So always, I don't yield just because someone says, okay, all of a sudden, well, now we've got this new organization. No, not so fast, because they could really take advantage of you.
All right, let's move on to, I believe we have Belinda on line 4. Hi, Belinda.
Hello, I'm from Clarksville, and I'd like to know, do you tackle consumer safety products when there's an issue with a major company like Black & Decker? I have video to back it up. I've already posted my video, and I contacted the company, and they quickly shipped me out another product to replace that and said, Ms. Barton, please don't use that product. I said, I don't intend to. It burned my hand. They got everything. I showed them the video and everything. But they would like for me to quickly sign their release forever. That ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
They sent me a product placement. It's smoking just like the first one, but not as bad.
Yeah. Well, always get a lawyer, yes, because that's a consumer, and it's really a product's liability claim. But even if they're negligent, you still have to have damages so that you can receive money. Just because, okay, I bought the Black & Decker, it's defective. And what they're trying to do, they're trying to mitigate their damages. And even if you brought a lawsuit, they said, look, we knew that it was bad. We immediately tried to fix it. We are the nice guys. We're above board. So I'd always get a lawyer, and before I made a whole bunch of more statements, and see if you can get a little settlement from them.
Great question. Thanks for calling in, Belinda. All right, we do have Emma on line 6 here. Hi, Emma. What's your question tonight?
Hi. I'm wondering if there is a legal solution to an issue that I've tried to get other people interested in, maybe like the AARP and state legislators and our representatives in Congress and so forth. And that has to do with, I'm sure you're familiar with the health savings account. You can make a contribution to the health savings account until you are eligible for Medicare. And the reason there's that limitation is because once you're eligible for Medicare, there's something called the medical savings account, which is essentially the same thing. You can continue to use your HSA for expenses, but you just can't make any more deposits. The problem in Tennessee is that there is no these accounts are offered by banks in conjunction with insurance companies, and they don't seem to be very profitable. At least that's the impression I'm getting. So they're not available to anybody in Tennessee. So if the federal government makes this available to, I guess on a voluntary basis, in the states that want to do it, I guess, although you can't really do it would allow me to continue to contribute to my health savings account.
Yeah, well, really, you've identified it, and thank you for that. And it's a great issue a lot of people are probably not familiar with, but you hit it right on the head. It's going to have to be a legislative act that allows Tennesseans to participate in that. And you know, many times the Amish, I do business with Amish people in the state of Kentucky, and they operate very much like that within their own community. So it's a form of insurance, and I think it's some merit to it. I just have to learn a little bit more about it before I could make some recommendations. But thank you for that call.
Yeah, great calls we've already had so far. We're going to go ahead and pause for just a quick break, but the number there on your screen, go ahead and give us a call. We'll be right back with more Ask the Attorney with Kevin Kennedy.